Having a good hostel will make or break your trip if you're going backpacking. But how can you spot the warning signs? How can you know whether you're getting a good deal or not? Let's talk about that in today's episode here. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Okay, so having a good hostel is really a good thing that you need. So how do you know if you're getting a good deal or not? Do you check the reviews? Do you check the pictures? I would suggest doing a weird combination of both. I wouldn't overread on reviews because sometimes you can just get a salty person who hasn't had the best experience and maybe they're a bit more of a party animal and it's just the bare bones basic of a bed, a locker and a communal bathroom. So that it could literally be as simple as that. But anyway, with my personal experience, I winged it. I mean, all I did was I was watching some YouTube videos about the hostel. That's one of the tips I'd say, is if you're looking at a particular hostel, go on YouTube, see if you can find any videos about that hostel. Maybe someone's done a vlog and spoke about it a little bit more. So you can actually have a kind of IRL POV perspective of what you're going to be staying in, basically. Or at least get a rough idea that isn't marketed pictures that you get on the website or over-exaggerated reviews. You're really just going to get a solid camera perspective where you can make your own opinion on the matter. And yeah, next with the review side of things, don't do what most people do with reviews, which is filter it good to bad. Just keep the normal filters on that are by default applied. And you could get a rough idea whether people give it a 1-star, 3-star, 5-star. You could get Trustpilot is really good for this. Obviously, Google reviews is, I think, the most used review site in the world, which is just integrated into Google Maps. So you could obviously go and check that out. I stayed in Wake Up Sydney, YHA Brisbane, YHA Auckland, YHA Sydney as well, and the YMCA in Auckland. To be honest, I just use Expedia, to be honest. I mean, I always book through a third party, so I will never book with a hostel directly unless I'm extending my stay. To put it simply, when I went to Auckland, I booked that hostel on Expedia because of guarantees and the cashback you get with Expedia, the one cash. I booked all of that when I was still in Sydney, so I just looked at the reviews, just kind of quick flick through the photos. I didn't really look in depth at the photos because I was only going to be in New Zealand for 5 days, so I didn't really pay too much attention, but I was just looking at the pictures. I didn't read a single review because all I care about is that average star rating. I don't really care about what people have to say. I'll make that up myself. I just need to know the star rating overall and have a look at some pictures. Never looked at a single YouTube video on the place. Didn't even know where the place was, to be honest, until after I landed in New Zealand. I'm the most unprepared traveller in the entire world. Especially when it comes to stuff. I just wing it most of the time. With the YHA, because I had stayed at the Brisbane one, when I went to the Sydney one, which was just slightly afterwards, yeah, I didn't need to do the vetting, because I assumed, and I was right, because they're a chain, they're all kept, obviously, to the same standard and quality, which they indeed were. They were all indeed kept to the same standard and quality. On the flip side of that, I would say look on multiple websites. That's another thing I would definitely say. So booking.com, Expedia, Google reviews. I'd also suggest Hostelworld. You could probably look at for reviews and stuff. I would never book through them. They are always extortionate with prices. I mean, I looked at the Wake Up Bondi, the Bondi Beach one, and I was just basically having a quick flick, go through everything that I've seen, and yeah, they were charging almost $100 more than Expedia and Booking.com. So there's no way I was doing that. I never ended up staying there, actually, but I was looking. This was when I was in Brisbane and trying to come back down to Sydney. I basically I basically was looking for somewhere, so I just decided to go back to the YHA, which is in next to the CBD, but I did look up Bondi very briefly. I would also recommend hostels. Chains are always going to be the best. So the Wake Up Australia brands, I believe they have locations in Sydney, Byron Bay, and Bondi. So obviously the Sydney and Bondi ones are both in Sydney, but you can do that. YHA, you're going to find them all over the place. Adelaide, Melbourne, Perth, Sydney, and Brisbane. I believe they're all located in, so that all the major cities along the coastline of Australia. You're definitely going to find a lot of good things there. If you're going with like a backpacker's lodging accommodation, as in like an independently run hostel, I would just say proceed with caution. I wouldn't say don't do it at all. I mean, you're going to be the best judge of opinion on the matter. I can only give my perspective, and obviously my perspective is going to be completely different to your perspective. So it's going to be a little bit up in the air whether people actually enjoy stuff like this. But I personally would stay with they might be a tiny bit more expensive, but I would just go with the branded ones like the Wake Up or the YHA. I may have done a risk, especially up near Cairns, of going into like a independently run hostel. But you just got to weigh up the odds, look at the reviews, and especially if it's an independently run one, you basically are taking a risk. So you have to weigh that up for yourself. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode here. I hope you all enjoyed. Give it a big fat thumbs up if you do enjoy it. It helps out the channel a lot and lets me know you do like this kind of content on the channel. Without further ado, everyone, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Peace out, guys.